Managed data with TV features and prices. Uploaded images and video files. Let's create a landscape content with full HD resolution. Then we place the two images on the content where we want to place the TV information. To do this, select the image insertion tool and browse the first image, and then the other image. Place a text field in which we want to display the manufacturer of the TV. To do this, click on the text field tool and draw a rectangle in the desired place. Set the size, color, and other properties of the text. After the manufacturer, create another text field in which the name of the TV will be displayed. We can do this as we saw in the case of the manufacturer, but it is possible to duplicate the manufacturer's text field and modify it as needed. In the case of TVs, there are features that are more practical to display with an icon than to write them out in text. This can be, for example, a Bluetooth or Wi-Fi connection. During display, these icons can have an active or inactive state. Now let's just place the active image of the icons in the content. We have already seen how to do this. Click again on the image insertion tool and browse for the desired image. Once we have all the images, we can move on to setting up the data binding. First, let's set which data source we want to use to create the content. To do this, select the desired managed data from the drop-down menu in the Data Binding section of the Project Settings tab. Since this data source does not only contain the information of one TV, but all of them, the content must know from somewhere which TV's data is to be displayed. We can store this information in a context variable assigned to the device. We can access the context variables in the content. In this example, the context variable called EAN will have to be set for each device, which will always store the barcode of the TV whose data we want to show on the device. From the entire data source, the content only needs the part that contains the data of the desired TV. To do this, we create an evaluated variable. Evaluated variables are derived data from a given data source, can have a search value that is used to find the required part of the data in the data source. Search values can come from other variables, such as context variables. In this case, we create an evaluated variable with the name product data, whose search value is the context variable named EAN, and the value of scoped data is the field of the data source in which this value must be searched. After that, the product data variable will contain all the data of the desired TV. Click on the Pick Data button in the Data Binding section of the text field settings. In the pop-up window, select the previously created product data variable from the data sources, then select the manufacturer from the displayed data and press the Save button. Do the same for the product name and the other text fields. By clicking on the images, find the Data Binding section in the settings and click on the Pick Data button, as we did with the text fields. Let's choose our product data variable here as a data source and browse for the desired data field. In this example, set the appropriate data field for the Wi-Fi image. Turn on mapping. Set the value 1 to show the active version of the Wi-Fi icon, and by default show the inactive version of the Wi-Fi icon. If the field can take several values, it is possible to specify additional options by pressing the Add Mapped Value button. When we are done with the Wi-Fi icon settings, let's do the same with the other icons as well. This completes the content and data connections. It is possible to play one or more background videos behind the TV information. This can be set in the Background Loop section of the project settings. By pressing the Edit Background Loop button, we can edit the list of videos to be played in the pop-up window. More information on this topic can be found in a separate video. For every device on which we want to show content that requires a managed data, it is necessary to specify which managed data the given device should work from. To do this, right-click on the device in the device list and select Set Managed Data. Select the desired data source from the drop-down menu and click the Update button. This is practical because if the stores of a supermarket chain have separate data sources, but their structure is the same, then it is enough to create a content with one of the data sources and set here which one the given device actually uses. In order for our device to show the data of the appropriate TV, the value of the context variable called EAN must be set to the barcode of the desired TV. As you can remember, the content will use this value to find the TV data in the managed data source. We can also do this in the device list. Right-click on the device and select Manage Context Variables. If our variable called EAN does not yet exist, press the plus button to add it to the list. If it already exists, it will appear in the list and we can modify it. If these two things are set on the device, it will show the data of the desired TV.